Welcome to Ferry's Film World, the show that gives you random film reviews through my perspective. Happy New Year, everyone! Glad to still be standing here in 2013, if you know what I mean. Today, I'm going to be doing something different to start this new year, and that is to give my top 5 disappointments of 2012. That's appropriate, right? Now, let me just say that this is my personal opinion, and I'm rating this film based on my own high expectation and the result I get from them. So it's by no means that these films are bad, period. Well, maybe one, two, but mostly I just find them to be a tad disappointing. I hope that makes sense. Let's do this. Alright, let's kick this off with my number 5, and that is Skyfall. I was already looking forward to this film after seeing the teaser, and when it got raving reviews after its release, it got me even more excited. But then I finally saw it, and I gotta say, I was a little let down. Visually, it was an amazing film, which is no surprise coming from Sam Mendes. Plus, Javier Bardem as the villain, wow, such a great character and performance. But ultimately, Skyfall's just not engaging enough for me. It felt a little too long since the second half of the film was where things started to get really intense. And because of that lopsidedness, you realize that there's a lot of flaw during the first half of the film which doesn't really make any sense or could have been cut down. I also think that this is by far the most down-to-earth James Bond film, if you know what I mean. For my number 4, which will come no surprise to those of you who watch the show, and that is Prometheus. I'm not going to go in depth with this since I already done a review on it, and if you guys want to see why it's on the list, check this link out to see the review. At number 3, we have The Avengers. I know a lot of people liked it, but it was just pretty okay for me. I applaud Marvel for strategically giving each of the superhero a feature of their own first before uniting them for the Avengers, but in the end, the film kinda fell flat for me. I mean, seriously, another alien invasion film? Couldn't they come up with something else? I don't know. I guess that is the most logical choice to go for a team of superheroes film, but at this point, there are just so many alien invasion films out already that I'm starting to get tired of the premise. I guess this film just got hyped up too much, but thankfully, they are still able to keep the quick-witted charm of Tony Stark and the naiveness of Boy Scout Steve Rogers intact, since they are my favorite characters within the Marvel film universe. Moving on to number 2, we have The Dark Knight Rises. Now let me confess that I was terrified for this film since I wanted it to be good so bad. Even though I think that it's an appropriate conclusion to Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, but inevitably it was still the weakest among the three. It also suffers from introducing way too much new characters into one film that it ended up feeling too cramped. But the biggest issue I had was that it seems to have lost the essence of realism, which the first 2 of the series did so well to ground Batman into the current society. Like when the Batwing appeared in front of all the cops who are chasing Batman, I was like, what? I mean, I like the Batwing, cool design, but when that happened, it kinda shattered the film's sense of illusion for me. I know you could argue the same thing with the Tumbler in Batman Begins, but I guess it's just the way the Batwing was introduced that this film kinda crossed over the line for me. I mean, how clueless these cops are. Who in the whole Gotham City could actually afford such an obviously expensive contraption? Way to be subtle, Bruce Wayne. And finally, with number 1, the mother of all disappointments for 2012, we have The Unamazing Spider-Man. I think the general consensus for this film is good, but I'm one to disagree. I can't help but feel that it's one of those properties that just got rebooted too soon as I was watching it in the theater. I have a lot of issues with this film, but mostly with its overall tone. It's just way too teeny bopper for my taste. Maybe it's because I'm getting older or something, but there's just numerous times where I was slapping myself in the forehead as I was watching this in the theater. Especially the romantic scenes between Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy. They just came out so cheesy that it's unbearable. And I'm a dude who actually enjoyed chick flicks now and then, so that's saying something. Plus, I'm kinda shocked at how unlikable Spider-Man is in this film. Am I crazy? I mean, I didn't feel that way with Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, so why is that the case with this one? I don't know. And the design of the lizard? No. And that ends my top 5 disappointments of 2012. But now, I'm kinda curious as to what your top 5 list is. And if you feel like sharing, you could always do that via the comment box below. And we'll have a discussion, my friend. Not to forget, if you like the show, you could show us some love and support by subscribing. It's just one click away, so you'll always be in the know as to when the newest episode is being posted and etc. But that's it, folks. A very happy new year to all of you, and I'll see you at the next review.